Hello powerful one, welcome to this edition of Inner Growth with Osezua Element here. It is a brand new day and it's a new experience we are having in Inner Growth with Osezua Element here because it is raining, but I love it. I don't know about you, I hope audio will not be a problem to you. I just want us to have a discussion whether it rains or not, because the idea of the element preventing one from doing certain things when one has a certain level of control does not quite appeal to me anymore. I feel that when we have to do something and we think it is worth the doing, we should give it a shot. Let's give it a try. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. If it works out, we celebrate. Yippee! We succeeded. That's what life is all about, isn't it? Giving it a try. I have been thinking over the past few days, because sometimes a friend of mine came to me and we're discussing some of my videos, and he was trying to make it look as if I had attained, I must have advanced a lot. I told him no. I watch my videos for inspiration. I watch my video for that kick to take me to the next level. Sometimes when I'm recording like this, I feel as if I have not done justice to what I intend to say, because there's so much inside that I have not been able to really push across the way I would have wanted it done. So in the last two videos, you saw that I tried to do scripting. I did scripting and decided to do voiceover, but still, when I'm doing them, I don't feel as if I'm doing anything worthwhile. But at the end of the day, when I start doing playbacks, when I'm editing and applying graphics to the images, I see that the information there is just off the hook. It's beyond me. I think there must be someone out there who is dropping this message through the channel of my person and I'm just passing it across. It's not me. If I were this advanced, I know what that would mean. And the truth is that these things are much more than I. It's the truth and I'm not lying to you. So I feel that we are in a position to learn from these videos. So how does it happen? I understand one thing, that you and I as humans, we make one mistake, and that mistake is that we feel that we are alone. We feel that we are like a pond, that is dug in the middle of nowhere and filled up with water that is subject to the elements, but the truth is that it is a mentality of detachment. It's a mentality of duality that says there is life here and there is I am alive because life manufactured or composed me and dropped me out there to sink or swim. You know me, I am in the business of helping you grow from inside out. That is the drill. You might believe that there is a higher power that is responsible for your being, but the issue is this: that belief, what does it translate to? My master once said that when a belief is tampered by an experience, it becomes faith. Do you have an experience of being connected to the source? Or do you even have the experience that you are a product of the source, of the creator, of the author of life? I have a few friends who have a few beliefs. One tells me that we were not created by God as human beings, that we were created by some powerful forces, maybe some angelic beings or some gods, and they are the ones that control our destiny, that before this power, before these entities, we are powerless. But I think that that is a very weakening, a very disempowering belief. Now, my understanding is this, that every human being, in fact, not just human beings, even everything that has life, has a connection to the source, the supreme one. There might be an intermediation in the process of actualizing the human being in the form of maybe there were creations of different parts of the human being, which is not the human being, but the different parts of the body. It's like this car we are in right now. It's manufactured. The name of the car is the brand that the manufacturer owns as his proprietary property. He owns it and it secures it. It is an idea of mobility that is comfortable, that is convenient, that communicates with a person's emotional being. That is the property of that company, and it is an idea. But the entire parts, the doors, the bonnets, the interior design, the chairs, the headlamps, everything are done by various other companies scattered across the world. These things are manufactured by different companies who are specialists in different areas. There are companies that are specialists in headlamps. Some are specialists in dashboard. Some are specialists in radio. Some are specialists in the air conditioning system. Some are very good at the interior designs and all sorts of things. You get a design, a pattern from the manufacturing company. Even if they do the designs, they send it to the manufacturing company for approval. Their creative department working with their marketing department come together and say, okay, this is okay for our next model, and they approve it. Those guys go and make the design according to the specification of the vehicle, and they put them together. When you see that car, you call it by the name of the company that owns it. You don't even think or realize that some other companies made maximum inputs into the final product. Those companies were paid, and they got their money, and they get a contract. They get the kind of thing that says, okay, we have a contract that is 5 years, 10 years. We'll keep manufacturing for you. We'll follow your specifications and design for you. That is what happens. But the car bears the logo and the story of the owner company. So I feel, I don't know, I don't have evidence. I have also read that there are entities that are responsible for the manufacturing of the human body, of the animal body, of the plant body. If you see some images that have been coming out recently online of different funny shapes of trees, funny shapes of plants, like yam produce from the soil, you see some funny shapes that they are giving. You realize that, can God be this naughty? You know, can God be this like this? You see it, you see the design of a tree copulating, for instance. You see a yam tuber having breasts and having a male organ shooting out like that. These are funny things that are happening, which should give you an idea that there are entities who are capable of being naughty, coming out with all kinds of shapes and things. The shape of the human being is not the human being. It is just the body. It's out there. But what I'm trying to talk about here is that the first mistake we make is that we conclude that that which can be seen by others with the physical eyes, by the five senses, are us. The things that the five senses can see, the things that the five senses can relate with, are by far not the human being. They are things that actually cause up the human being. They are like blankets. So the question I have been asking, I've been trying to find an answer to is, why is there so much stress? If you check it out, the time you suffer the most stress is when you feel that your powers are inadequate for life. Life is a continuum. When you contemplate life as you being alone, as it being dependent on your power or your capacity, you tend to panic. And that fear comes in, and it's not a surprising thing, because with the coming of the 20th century, with its philosophy of realism and naturalism, human beings came to the conclusion that they are fucked. That they are living in an impersonal, hostile world where there is no force, there is no power out there that has got their backs, that they are on their own, that they sink or swim on their own terms. All right? And of course, with the coming of philosophies like existentialism and all of that, people began to realize that life depends on their decisions. Life depends on their call, which is very correct. But you see, the other aspect of it that came to corrupt the entire system is that the human being came to the understanding that there is God, there is a supreme being, and that supreme being is a judge. that supreme being is watching out for every action they take to punish and pounce upon them. And if they do well, they will be blessed. That is the philosophy that has actually brought a lot of fear, a lot of pains, a lot of anxiety and worries to the human beings. But what if I told you that, number one, you are not living in a hostile universe, that you are living in a world that is loving, that is cooperative, a world that seeks every opportunity possible to aid you, to bless you, waiting for you to make that call. There are many helpers out there. Some people try to avoid helpers because they know that the help that they get, if it is coming from entities that are other than the supreme, that help will enslave them. But still, with that help, they can get all the things that make people stress about life. The good houses, the good cars, the good relationship, and the travels, and all of those beautiful life experiences. They can get them, but it will be at the expense of their soul. It will, when I mean expense of their soul, I mean at the expense of their development, of their self-discovery. That is one, because it simply means that the strains, the compression that lack and pains give the human being, forcing the human being to go into a tight corner to think and then redesign and rediscover themselves, will no longer be there, because it becomes a form of luxury. Somebody else does it for you. You are thriving and dwelling and growing, on the energy of another, not yours. That is enslavement. But that is also there. So you are not alone. There are beings out there willing to be of help to you. There are forces, there are powers out there. All right? But there's something else I want to tell you, which is the good news, which is the much bigger news, is that you don't even need the entities to help you, because you are more powerful than the entities. In you lies the supreme force that even these entities depend upon to help you with. You see, a human being is constricted by their ignorance. Ignorance is what is making us suffer. The first thing ignorance does to us is that it tells us that we are alone, that there is no helper anywhere. We are just sinking or swimming on our own terms. Yes, we sink or swim on our own terms, but this is it. The reason we are able to make a decision to sink or swim is also the power that makes us not alone. There is an intelligence that is behind creation. It works in the human being, it works in the animals, it works in the trees, it works in the microbes, it works in the gods, it works in the angels, and it works in all the demigods and all the entities, all alike. That intelligence is working in you and is ever ready to do your bidding. But you suffer because you have a low image of yourself, you wrong perception of the entire universe, so that what you have become, instead of being a tributary of the ocean, you have begun to see yourself as a pond that was dug by circumstance and left out there in the open, and therefore subject to the vagaries of the weather. Therefore, if the weather is hot, pond evaporates. When the weather is extremely cold, the pond freezes. But that is not your life. Your life is not subject to environmental conditioning.